long as two comrades survive, so long will the veterans of foreign wars of the United States render tribute to our heroic dead. Comrades, attention. On this day, forever consecrated to our heroic dead, we are assembled once again to express sincere reverence. This monument represents the resting places of many departed comrades who served in all wars. Wherever the body of a comrade lies, there the ground is hollow. Our presence here is in solemn commemoration of all these men, an expression of our tribute to their devotion to duty, their courage and patriotism. By their services on land, sea, and in the air, they have made us their debtors. The flag of our nation still flies over a land of free people. Parade rest. Comrade Chaplain, will you ask the divine bell of us, please?
Father of us all, in the depth of our silent reverence, we realize the truth of the inspired words. I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. As comrade after comrade departs, we march on with our ranks grown thinner. Help us to be faithful unto you and to one another. Please look in mercy on the widows and children of our departed comrades. We beseech thee. And with thine own tenderness, console and comfort those who are bereaved. Heavenly Father, bless our country with freedom, peace, and righteousness. Through thy favor, may we meet at last before your throne in heaven. We praise your great name forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Attention, officers and members of David Potts Jr., Post 1156, Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. We will now pay our respects to our departed comrades. In so doing, we offer solemn tribute to all comrades wherever they may rest. Comrade Senior Vice Commander.
On behalf of Post 1156, Veteran of Foreign Wars of the United States, I place this symbol of our remembrance.
Comrade Junior Vice Commander.
I place this symbol of purity on this comrade's grave. May each future generation emulate the unselfish courage of all men and women who fought for freedom.
Comrade Officer of the Day.
In memory of the heroic dead who have fallen in defense of the United States of America, I place this tribute of our devotion and everlasting remembrance.
On behalf of our glorious republic, for whose integrity our comrades enlisted and served, I place this emblem of the nation. The flag of our country was theirs to defend. Its glorious colors shall wave over them in death as in life, for everyone to behold. To you, comrades who have departed, we render a silent salute. Comrades, present arms. Order, arms. Comrades in the silent land beyond, wherever your mortal remains may rest, these solemn services we hold in tribute to you. That concludes our ceremony. As many of you who've been here before know, this is the Andy of Mayberry version that you get from us. I get choked up. Well, anyway, what I'd like to do, I have a few remarks I'd like to make, and then George has a presentation that he's going to do. And then if there's any of the dignitaries that have a commitment, then basically we'll make sure you speak before breakfast, and then basically afterwards, we'll handle anybody who is able to stay. Hopefully as many as possible will be able to stay. So, and I'd like to thank Steph. Absolutely. Thank you. Without caps, this ceremony falls apart.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And I'd like to thank all the members of our post who are here, Carl Morandi, Joe Germano, Dave Everett, Bob Kirby, Ray Fiorentino, Frank Maresca, Stanley Pleasant, Tony Marcella, and Thomas Ayers. We're happy to. I know most everybody in this room. My name is Bert Foreman. I'm the commander of this VFW Post 156. I want to welcome all of you to our ceremony and our breakfast. It's a tradition that we've had going back a long ways. I see many familiar faces here. Many who attended this event a number of times. It's kind of like a club. Basically, the believers and the supporters of this post and the things that we do, and the supporters of Memorial Day itself. Just a few comments on the meaning of this day. Although for this group, it's quite mostly been with us for a long time, I think probably not necessary. Memorial Day is a day to cherish the memory and honor the sacrifice of those who've given their lives for their country. Whether you agree or disagree with America's participation in the conflicts that cost them their lives, that's irrelevant. What's important is that their country called, and they answered the call, as did those who paid a lesser price. All who responded gave some, but those who remember today gave all. As a Vietnam veteran, I see that after 50 years, the country finally figured out that there's a distinction between the warrior and the war. Third, I'd like to say a few words about this very special VFW post and the many members that I've gotten a pleasure to know over the years. I've been the commander, I thought it was 2009. I've been a commander since 2007, so 10 years. And it's been a marvelous, it's been a very time-consuming, demanding job, but it's been a very rewarding job, which I couldn't have done without the support of my comrades and the support of my wife, Deirdre. Many of you have heard me refer to us as the little engine that could. Our mission has been and will continue to be service to veterans at large and service to the community. We do this quietly but effectively through events like this and selective contributions of organizations that benefit veterans both local and at large in our community. We take great pride in what we've been able to accomplish over the years. This year, where our year of our officers goes from July to July. So I'm looking back to last Memorial Day, has been one of great change for the post. We lost some key members, key longtime members. Bill Capodanno, whose grandsons Timmy and Joseph are here. Frank Rivera and Tommy Santoro. We have several key members, namely Ralph Bacchino and our very own Tony Marcella, who have dealing with some serious challenges. We ask you to keep these men and their families in your prayers. Also, our longtime quartermaster, Mr. Kirby, will be leaving for a sunnier climate. And we're going to miss him, especially his efforts in guiding our vetting of potential organizations to make contributions to. Thomas Ayers, who like Bob and myself, is a Vietnam veteran, will be taking his place, and I look forward to working with Thomas. Finally, as most of you know, we sold our building to the town of Mamaroneck in October of 2016. In what seldom happens, but this was the case, a win-win transaction. This transaction was made possible by the great partnership that has been built with the town of Mamaroneck over the years. Valerie O'Keefe, Nancy Seligson, Steve Altieri. So that laid the groundwork. If that relationship hadn't been in place, there's no way this would happen. The building will now be available permanently for the town to house a senior center and other activities, and we will be able to continue to use it exactly as we have in the past, with no charge, as long as our post continues to exist. We also received an infusion of additional funds to help with our charitable service. The little engine has gotten smaller, but hopes to counter that as we continue our work in the community through a closer partnership with Bill Goodenough and Post 90. We'll find that collectively we can man certain events together that we couldn't individually. Again, thank you for coming and supporting the 2017 ceremony and breakfast. We hope to see you all again next year. Some, George and Steve have have additional commitments, and I think that would probably be best if we could just do the remarks for everyone and then have breakfast as opposed to breaking it up. So George.
Thank you.
Steve and I both have one of those days, which when we sign on for this gig, it began in Rye, and we're honored to be here. We go back to Rye, then to Portchester, I think Nurashad, or whatever it is. Steve's got the count. We talk as we go along on our Bluetooth. But I'm happy to be here, obviously, because this is a wonderful service, and to look at as many people here. I don't know that I've ever seen this many people come to this ceremony in the past. Look around the room, those of you who've done this for years, and I think that is a statement of this post and this post commander, that you've done an outstanding job. I want to recognize one of your post members. I have a great opportunity as a member of the State Senate, as my predecessor Susie Oppenheimer did for many, many years, of nominating an individual to serve in the, or to be appointed to the New York State Senate's Veterans Hall of Fame. A couple of years ago, each senator gets one of those appointments every year. A couple of years ago, it was my great honor to be able to appoint, and he graciously accepted. We had a ceremony here for him, Tony Marcella. Tony, take him out. This year, another member of this post received that honor, and I consulted with Steve. We're good friends. We talked about all the veterans we knew, and we'll have a little ceremony a little later in the year. We'll probably do something at the Rotary Club that he's a member of, also here at the Post. But this year's person who joined the Hall of Fame, an outstanding man in every way he can be, our friend Joe Germano. Joe, please stand up. You and Tony have something in common, as with every other veteran here. You've served us well, and your community loves you and recognizes you. So congratulations.
Thank you, George. Very nice, Tony. I'm walking in your path.
Thank you, Bert. I'll leave the floor to my colleague, Assemblyman Steve Otis.
First, thank you for this ceremony. You talked about Mayberry RFD, but it is sort of the small town nature of this community and just the love that everybody has for everybody else, the sense of those that served and are here, but today we remember those that are not here and who served and gave their lives for the unique freedoms that we have in this country. And you look around the world and you see how much insanity goes on, and that we are so lucky to have rule of law and freedom of religion and freedom of the press and all these things that we value. We only have them because men and women gave their lives for the unique thing that is America. The other thought that I have this year is that in all the communities in the Sound Shore, we have men and women who serve in the armed forces today. And I think it's a good day to think about their safety and that they are able to do well and come home safe and do their job. We have Westchester County residents and friends and people we all know who are in harm's way today, and they should be in our prayers as well. Thank you, Bert.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Nancy Sellex, I'm the supervisor of the town of Mamaroneck, and Bert mentioned that we had a win-win situation here, which is the partnership between the VFW and the town of Mamaroneck. And it has been a wonderful win-win, a wonderful relationship, started by Valerie O'Keefe and continued through the town board and the town. And we are very happy to share the VFW with Post 1156. But I want to thank all of you for bringing us together today. Memorial Day is a solemn event and a solemn time to remember those who have lost their lives in fighting for this country. But we also are so lucky in this community to have all of the wonderful veterans we have who teach us and remind us about this country and about what service is all about. I especially want to thank the VFW for bringing us together with Tony Marsala, Stanley Pleasant, and Joe Germano, because they are inspirations and role models for all of us. And I feel privileged to get to know these men and spend time with them at these events. Not at all lessening the experience with those from other wars, but I think you know what I mean, that these three are extremely special people, and we are lucky to have them in our community. So thank you, Bert, for your partnership. Thank you for bringing us together. And thank you for all of your service to our country and to our community.
Yesterday, my brother posted a photograph of my 5-year-old niece putting a flag in front of my father's tombstone out on Long Island. Veteran of the Korean War. He didn't die there. He came back and gave us all life and gave us a great life. I miss him every day. But for many men who go off to service, they don't have that pleasure to come back and have a family and live to see their children grow. It's very important that once a year we remember them, at least, and pay them our respect and then give them their due. So, in honor of that, thank you to all for serving.